home to some of the world's greatest athletes and the world's greatest athletic events, including this month's Twin Lab NPC Team Universe Bodybuilding Championship. Welcome back to Muscle Sport USA. I'm Tom Twilliger, along with Steve Stone, and we're thrilled to be bringing you this event. We're looking at the middleweight division. Some of the top athletes in the country have come here to win this championship and earn a spot on the team that goes to the World Championship. And it gets the New York audience revved up to see how good these athletes are. The first of our finalists in the middleweight division, and I'll tell you, it is a battle just to get to that level. Richard "Tricky" Jackson. I talked about him earlier, Steve. He's going to need to pull a few tricks to really win this championship this year. He's been here before, and at 31 years old, he's been successful. This year, after seeing the earlier elimination rounds, I have to say the competition has gotten better, but it looks like Tricky's gotten better as well, Steve.
He has an excellent physique. You just saw that back double bicep, Tommy. Look at all the muscularity in that back. It's very hard. He has excellent symmetry, the balance between his legs, his waist, his shoulders, and he moves exceptionally well. He's probably one of the foremost posers on the amateur level.
No question about it. When he gets going, man alive, it's a two-part series. Physique, look at those awesome abdominals, and then the entertainer kicks in, and he gets this audience rolling, Steve.
What you're saying is absolutely true. Everything about Tricky is in the presentation round. His physique is exceptional, however. Tommy, that's almost undue stress. He knows that the audience is here to see a great routine, and yet he has to put a physique like that together just to back it up.
Well, it's sort of like saying that Tricky's physique is an afterthought. I wouldn't quite go that far, but I will say this. Most of the athletes don't put nearly as much time and effort into the routine, and it does make training for competition that much harder. Fontenot. We had seen this athlete's brother, Jose, take second in the lightweight division earlier in the competition. It only proved to fuel the fire of Tito Raymond, who is now after nothing less than first place in the middleweight class. I think you'd have to agree with that, wouldn't you, Steve?
Tito is here to win, Tommy, and he's showing his best body part. This is what separates him from the rest of the athletes in the class. This back. He doesn't leave any athlete room for error with this physique. It's hard, it's thick, it's big. Look at how his muscle belly just jump at you, Tommy, and it's a very clean look. It flows. It really has no structural flaws.
Steve, what I really like is Tito's posing. It's not as dance-like and as bebop as some of the other athletes were doing. It's a little harder. He hits those poses, boom, there it is, guys. This is what I've been working on all year, and I like that. That's what bodybuilding's all about. And let's face it, Tito does have a certain amount of sex appeal for the ladies in the audience.
He loves the publicity, Tommy. He loves the attention. It's hard to pick up a magazine this day and not see Tito in it somewhere, in an ad, an article. He is very personable. He's a very good ambassador for the sport. And he is still an amateur until he wins this show, goes on and wins the World Championships.
Steve, as good as Tito is, and if he's good enough to win this class, and there's still very much doubt in that, at least as far as the other competitors are concerned, is he good enough to represent the USA at the Worlds against international competition?
If you win this contest, if you are on Team USA, you're definitely ready for the World Championships, Tommy. However, it's a different group of judges over there. They may seem to like harder, thicker physiques, whereas U.S. judges, they really stick to that NPC criteria.
Look at that tricep. The cross striations definitely shredded. The only flaw I see is that he could be a little fuller in his muscles. He doesn't seem to be maintaining the pump that he came out on stage with. This New York bodybuilding audience is loaded with fans, and they have come ready to get excited. They haven't been disappointed. As we look now onto the stage, we can see that all 5 finalists in the middleweight division are now standing side by side. And you can see what a dominating force they are.
Tito Raymond jumps out in front, right in front of us in the black, followed by Prince Fontenot. Prince moving right from the cameras through Tricky Jackson to get to Rene Endara, hitting that side tricep. Now, in front of Alexander Jackman. Prince wants a piece of everybody in this pose down.
Prince may be trying to steal the show, but the real battle seems to be between Richard "Tricky" Jackson on the far left and Tito Raymond next to him. And they may be first and second in this event, but certainly not if Prince has anything to say about it in this pose down. It looks like Tricky Jackson in the purple, way in the back, Steve, has jumped up on the platform. What kind of strategy is that?
Normally, Tommy, other athletes will follow and jump up there next to him. However, Tricky realizes all the athletes are downstage, and he's going to join them just to pick it up.
Now, Tricky may have jumped up on that platform originally hoping the other competitors would follow him, thinking that he's the threat in this competition. Well, perhaps they don't see him as the threat at all. The judges have certainly had their work cut out for them here in the middleweight division, and the audience has certainly had a lot of muscle to choose from in their decisions.
Third place has just been announced. It is Richard Tricky Jackson. Very disappointing finish for him, Tommy.
Oh, Steve, that has to be tragic in his mind. Second place just been announced, Prince Fontenot. He looks fantastic in this event, but just not good enough to beat the fabulous Tito Raymond. Well, one of the Raymond brothers is going home as a member of Team USA, going to represent America at the World Championships. But I'll bet, Steve, the pasta will flow tonight anyway.
Tito is an excellent champion, Tommy. He's been here before. He's competed in Team Universe ever since its inauguration. Rene Endara had the muscularity. Prince Fontenot had the symmetry. Richard Jackson, the presentation. Put them all together. Tito Raymond had it all. He wins.